about that. This stream is supposed to cover Restore the Snyderverse and Free Palestine issues, and we're going to try and cover as much as we can. First of all praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God comes first. I know that's just a picture with the icon of Jesus on it, but still. And let's get into it. So first things first. First things first. All right. First things first we're going to talk about is movies. Because this is supposed to be a movie channel as well as it's a Christian channel. One of the things I think that a lot of people who are critics of film need to bear in mind is that because you're watching so much different kinds of film, you're going to get saturated. And so the comments that you make on a film, for example, may not reflect what the audience would experience watching that film because they're seeing something like that for the first time. You having seen huge amounts of material and films and movies, you may have seen something like it before. And as a result, you don't have the impact that is placed upon you is not the same as someone who is seeing a new concept or a new idea to them for the first time. So this point number one. Point number two, a lot of times I listen to people criticize movies who did not have any stake in them, meaning they didn't pay to see the movies. They didn't end up in an atmosphere where they're surrounded by people who are maybe indulging the movie because they paid to see it because they wanted to see it. And so what happens is their perspective on it is one in which it is stakeless. That is to say, they have no investment in what they're seeing. And so you have to put that into perspective. The other thing that critics of film need to think about is that you cannot be unbiased about a film per se. What I mean by that is there are going to be certain movies and films you're going to want to anticipate and want to see. And there are going to be others that you're not really invested in seeing. I would suggest to critics and people who want to be critical of films that you take that into consideration when you go to see a movie or a film. If you're not a comic book movie fan, if you're not a fan of comic books, do keep that in the back of your mind when you go to see a comic book movie. Two very important points. The lure of comic book movies is the fact that people who have seen comic books or have watched comic book animation adaptations get excited for seeing characters do certain things that they do. So that is something that adds to the entertainment of comic book movies. Take, for example, Zack Snyder's Justice League. The first time we see Darkseid in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the emotions, the personal impact, the weight of that would not be felt by someone who is not a comic book fan, who does not know the lore, who's never seen Darkseid and doesn't care about Darkseid. So when you're a critic of a movie, yes, you're talking about how the movie is made and all of that. And that's really cool if you're looking at an Oscar winning performance or a movie that is, a movie that is made for beyond entertainment. But if you're dealing with movies that are for entertainment and the genre they're in, you have to, Kapil Sharma 6490 says, hi, Kapil Sharma. You have to take into consideration, okay, hi, hello. You have to take it out. Don't forget to smash the like button, people. You have to take into consideration these things. Okay? And I think a lot of film critics, they call themselves film critics, they say they're film lovers, but you're not taking into consideration these added factors that we speak about. Don't forget to smash the like button, people. You can also donate via PayPal, even though the link is not there. By the way, this stream is brought to you by LIVE and LIVE products. Let me just show you guys. Here I have liquid. This is fabric softener, which you can't see. Let me go into color for a minute. I'm going to put this in color. All right, it's in color right now. It should be in color. So this is the fabric softener, LIVE. This stream is sponsored by LIVE products, and you also have dishwashing liquid. LIVE products. Live now. We're live now. So I forgot to do that, so I'm just getting back into that. I'm going to go back into what I was looking at here. Boom, boom. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail with you guys. I just want to kind of keep it simple. But I think those are things that critics of film, a lot of them disregard when they're doing their reviews. And they don't put it in. They don't even put it in as a caveat, which they should. So when you're discussing film, you have to discuss it first as genre. It depends on what the genre is. You have to be seeing if the film has some sort of innovative thing that it's trying to add to the genre. You have to look at all these factors when you're trying to do a proper review of a film. And I see a lot of critics do not do that. In fact, the story of a film is the foundation of the film. And if you cannot tell me in one sentence what the film is about, then you cannot do a review on that film and do it justice. You just can't. So that's important. Why I say this is because there are so many people out there who love comic book movies, and they love comic books and comics. And some of them love the animated comics, and some of them love, live action comics. Joker did not do well at the box office. Joker 2, sorry. Okay. And now they're wanting to put out a Joker series. The dissonance of the studios and the dissonance of Hollywood to what people want to see when it comes to comic book movies is very laughable when we speak about Warner Brothers Pictures. Apparently, Marvel Studios seems to understand their audience. Apparently, Universal Studios seems to understand their audience. But for some reason, I don't know why, Warner Brothers Studios cannot get their shit together and produce entertainment that their audience wants to see. They just can't, they just don't, they are incapable of doing that with this particular regime. So, perseveres still to this day and still trending on Twitter, aka X, Restore the Snyderverse. Enter Restore the Snyderverse. Restore the Snyderverse has been around now since 2021. A little before 2021's thing. Before Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, Restore the Snyderverse started to come out. This is going to be moving on 4 years. It's been 3 years straight that fans have been telling Warner Brothers Pictures to restore the Snyderverse. I know that Abdi and DeLuca would love to do that. They're responsible for Warner Brothers Pictures. However, James Gunn is, I don't know if he's an impediment to it or not, but clearly James Gunn has a Superman movie that's coming out next year. And it seems he doesn't want anything to be discussed outside of his Superman movie that he's going to put out there. Everything that James Gunn has done so far has not created the kind of buzz and excitement that we expected to see in DC. His stuff is meh at best. Since he's taken over DC with Peter Safran, he has not gotten a win of any kind in terms of movies. I think the only thing that actually did well, and I'm not sure if it came out. I think it came out. Did it? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know if it came out during James Gunn's time or before. I think it was before he came on the scene. Was Batman. Matt Reeves' Batman. So I don't think James Gunn was there when that happened. So pretty much he's not had a home run at all for the last, what was it? He came out in 2022. For the last 2 years. Nothing. Just duds. As such, the void is filled with Restore the Snyderverse people. Warner Brothers stock hasn't been doing well. Warner Brothers as a company hasn't been doing well. And seems as though it's going to go down the tubes very soon. So the question is, shall we run another campaign on X and on social media with Restore the Snyderverse as the hashtag? All the other hashtags have paled in comparison to Restore the Snyderverse. It still stands. It's still there. And we're still here. Like we said, we were going to outlast these administration for whatever company is there. We're going to outlast them. So the question is, when will this happen? So what I would suggest you guys do is dedicate a time. I say Zack Snyder's Justice League came out March 18th of 2021. The other Justice League movie came out November 17th of 2017. I would suggest November 17th that we just spam the shit out of X with Restore the Snyderverse. That's what I suggest. November 17th. To just spam the daylights out of Restore the Snyderverse. And to put record numbers of us so that mainstream, everybody out there, not just Hollywood, but the mainstream media and people worldwide would see that hashtag. That's what I suggest. Let it be a great day. That's just my suggestion. You guys can follow through with it or not, but it's always good to take action on something. With respect to one more thing in entertainment. So Netflix has pulled all the Palestinian coverage and films and short films that were on it. Netflix has done that. So I have ended my subscription to Netflix. I have let them know that because they are canceling the Palestinian voice and the Palestinian narrative, that I'm canceling my subscription to Netflix. They're not getting another dime from me until they put back the content back on Netflix. So Netflix has just canceled themselves from my repertoire by canceling the Palestinian narrative that was on there. So until they put it back, I'm not going to be fucking with Netflix. Period. Don't care what Zack Snyder does on there. With respect now to the U.S. elections. Well, the U.S. elections, very simply put, show us that most Americans are against the genocide that's happening in Israel. Leaky's live stream. What's up, Leaky? I didn't know you had a live stream. Good stuff. So that's what happened. Basically, Kamala Harris, Holocaust Harris, decided that she was going to continue arming Israel, even though there were lots of pleas to have an arms embargo against Israel. And she said Israel has the right to defend itself. That's how she said it, even though they're bombing the shit out of villages and towns and stuff. And she was dogmatic about that. She stood on that. And so when people realized that's what she was about, and the genocide is going on as we speak, and it continues even now as I speak, She had no intention of disarming Israel, stopping the, doing an arms embargo so that Israel would stop the genocidal campaign and negotiate with Palestine. Because of that, most people, I believe 15 million Democrats did not vote at all in the election because they didn't want to vote for Trump either. And I do believe a lot of people as well voted for Trump because of that, because he's not committing a genocide as we speak, even though his rhetoric is pro-Israeli, and we don't really like his rhetoric at all. America said, we just can't support this genocide. We just can't do it. We can't support it. If she was to get back into power in spite of committing genocide or endorsing or being complicit in genocide, then what does that say about America? So they voted against her. And because they thought their only option was Trump, a lot of people voted for Trump. Now, having said that, how Americans are treated by these people in power was also pitiful with Hurricane Helene. You know, so many people without homes, 15 billion, $53 billion in damages, and they only passed $600 million to try and help out flood victims, giving them only a parsley $735, try and get their lives together. This is just ridiculous. And they have all these billions, $20 billion and $15 billion, and they just recently passed $8 billion to go to Ukraine. They've been passing billions and billions of dollars to fund fucking wars. I mean, how disgusting could you be? You're funding wars instead of taking care of your own people, making sure they're okay and safe. It's just sickening. So, yeah, it was not rocket science that she did not go back into power. I said that already. I said that months ago that she was going to lose the election. So it's not surprising to me. Now, with respect to the DNC, the DNC is a corporate funded party. And, we need to remove these big corporations and oligarchs from donating. They need to take big money out of politics, period. That's what Dr. Jill Stein was saying. That's what Cornel West was saying. That's what Claudia de la Cruz has been saying. You need to take big money out of politics. Same thing in my country. And because these people will be beholden to return the favor to these big corporations. And then they've been serving these big corporations for years. The Democrats haven't done what it was supposed to do, what they campaigned on. They generally did lip service to it and maybe threw like a bone at it, but never really totally committed, but they were totally committed to the corporations. So this is what's happening with our democracy. We have fascism, we have white supremacism, going on, and it's been always that way with America. I talked a little bit about that on my other channel. So it's not surprising what's happening. And Donald Trump is just going to be an outward reflection of that. Would I have preferred Jill Stein or Cornel West or even Chase Oliver or Claudio de la Cruz to have won the election? Yes. But, reality was that, they were pushing and prodding these two big parties. But what we can do in the interim, because you don't need elections to effect change, is civilly. Now we need to be able to have the conversation with each other as people and individuals, because these corporate people, they don't care about us. Federal government doesn't care about its citizens. Maybe state level, maybe localized level, but not. So we have to look out for each other, and we have to now speak with one voice. Free Palestine should be a big issue. It was a big issue. It's what caused Kamala Harris to lose elections, and if Donald Trump doesn't watch it, it could be a result of a civil war between different various states and the federal government if Donald Trump does not move wisely. Because, as I can tell you right now, AIPAC doesn't have the kind of power that they think it has in the Israeli lobby. I believe the voice of the people is the voice of God, and I think the voice of the people will prevail. So that's what's going on with that. Now, with respect to Palestine and people in Palestine and people in Israel, Israel's in upheaval right now. There still is a significant portion of the public that wants Netanyahu out of government. But besides that, we also have very small, but still there, resistance in Tel Aviv, 100 and something people who have been speaking what we wanted to hear, that this Holocaust is not right, and the Palestinians are people too, and so on. So it was really good to see a speckle of them that are doing it, and I wish more of them would continue to do it on behalf of humanity. The few that are still in northern Israel and centralized Israel, etc. Of course, we know Hezbollah and the Houthis, and they are just the Houthis, Hezbollah, even Hamas. They're still doing their thing, and I want to say that as a human being living on this planet who believes in the Most High God, that there's just no way I can endorse anything that Israel is doing now. And it just, all Israel keeps on doing more and more and more, as I look at what happened in the Netherlands, what I see happening elsewhere, is making enemies with the whole entire world. And it's not helping Jews either. It's not helping Jewish people. So anyways, I just wanted to say that. And tell you guys to continue to advocate and fight for Palestine's freedom. I don't know how much longer the Israeli state will last as it is now. It may be that it becomes extinct. The Western Empire is falling. And who knows how soon it will fall and collapse completely. I was just listening to Mr. Vladimir Putin talking about, are we losing our humanity, and are we going to stay human? Because he's talking about, all of these challenges that are happening in the world. So it is what it is. It's strange to me. I think 2 or 3 years ago I was anti-Putin, and now I'm so pro-Putin. I think what happened October 7th opened the mind to so many things that have, narratives and lies that the media purports to us that are not true. So that's what I got for you guys for today. I hope you guys have a blessed one. I'm out of here. I am Christ, I am disciple. Peace to everybody. Have a great week and stay well.